want to start it? All right. Microphone's on, folks. I call to order the Torch Lake Township regular board meeting of May 21st, 2024 at 7:04. I apologize, everybody. The copier wasn't working, so there should be some copies coming out shortly. Sharon, you want to lead us in pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, Judy.
We'll review the
got the whole
housekeeping
county
items as we always do. Board, when speaking, please move close to your microphone to ensure you are heard clearly for the YouTube streaming. And I request that citizens who speak to adjust the height of the stand and stand close to the microphone. There will be 2 opportunities for citizen comments. I will be requesting individuals stay within the 4 minutes in both citizen comment sections. I would appreciate everyone keeping their points concise. I would request that comments are made respectfully to the board. We are here to discuss the township's business. Citizens' comments should pertain to specific issues, concerns, or policies they would like to bring to the board's attention. With that, we have 1 set of minutes to approve.
Yes, sir. I will make a comment that I have a correction
Okay,
in item A2. The minutes toward the end where it says March 16th approved as prepared, that number should be 26.
okay.
Okay, so, and then I wanted to ask Jason, you referred to the presentation that the PC had the other night about the storage units. Can you tell me, I wrote down a builder did the presentation, was it?
The people that had the purchase agreement on the property did the presentation,
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't think that
It
was
the
right.
developer.
the developer.
developer, thank you,
Yeah.
better word than builder.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right,
I have a, oh,
go ahead.
and 3, voters, yeah,
A3.
the last full sentence, the at-home, I don't think is appropriate. I think it's going to be too confusing when you think of at-home. People think of Zoom and everything else and being at home. And I think it should say voters can choose to vote at Torch Lake Township Community Center, Community Building or whatever on the actual election day.
I have no problem with that.
And then number 2,
A2,
no, I'm ready for you. On H, August primary paperwork needs to be submitted by April, not May.
just going by Bob's notes on that one. Thank you.
Because we're not even at May 23rd yet.
No, we're not, are we?
Mm-mm. Those are my corrections.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Good, all right. No other comments. I will make the motion to approve the minutes for April 16th, 2024, regular board meetings with changes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jason.
It is moved and seconded to approve the regular board meeting of April 16th, 2024 with changes. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Next item is correspondence and announcements.
Okay, sometimes there are none, and then other times. So I'm just going to be brief about these. The Antrim Conservation District has put out their April newsletter. It is online for Antrim County, but I'm just letting you know, it's quite interesting if you read it. Things to do outside in Antrim County.
Our director is here in presence too.
Oh, there you go. Are you, I'm sorry, tell me your name? Melissa? Are you the one that sends this out? Thank you, Melissa. All right, so there's that. If the board is interested, Beckett and Rader send out a planning report every month. If you're interested in that information,
We all get it.
you don't get it?
We all get it.
Oh, you do get it, okay.
Yeah.
I was approached by one of our electors at the elections the other day on May 7th. His name is irrelevant. However, he is adamant that Torch Lake Township do something about garbage pickup. And he's implying that he thinks we should be like all the other communities that pay for garbage pickup. He wants me to do something about garbage pickup. This has been on our agenda many times in the past, and we have talked about it. One of the things that keeps coming up is how everybody else has those dump everything out one day a week or, once a year, and we don't have that. Can we look into that? These are all things that we've heard before, but this is a new request as of May 7th.
That's fine.
Okay. Another notice from the Antrim County Administration Office is that their master plan is available for review. They're looking for comments from anybody, I assume. I assume you'll talk about that at your planning commission meeting also.
We have a commissioner here too that'll bring it up.
Yeah.
At their regular meeting, May 2nd. This is their draft 2024.
And it's printed out on the counter here for everybody to see. It's on our counter too.
Okay, good. All right, and then not last, let's do these first.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, we're not
Finish
They're
there
your-
yet.
not comments, I'm sorry. 2 emails that were received by the board, I'm sure. The one email I'm not going to be able to read because it is a potential legal situation, and therefore, it's not potential, it is.
It's a matter that could go before the
Could
court,
go.
and the board doesn't have any responsibility in handling that.
Okay, so thank you for putting the right words in my mouth. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I know that the board did receive this email individually as well.
Right.
And I printed you out a copy of it, so I know you've all seen it. And then this one came in, I don't have a date on it. This was an email received from one of the folks in our audience, which I believe may be speaking about it later anyway, during public comment, or did you turn in a card? No, okay. Her request basically is for Township to look at work at the end of the 3rd Street public
It's on-
access.
It's on the agenda.
It's on the
so-
agenda.
It's on the agenda, okay. So that is it for communications and correspondence.
All right. Next item is the approval of the agenda content. Anyone have any changes? If not, I would like to add, oh, go ahead.
The very end, future meetings, not May 21st. Regular township board meeting will be June 18th.
Okay. So noted. I try to get those things right now and then.
That's today, June 21st, or
I
May
know.
21st.
The other change is we have the folks from the Conservancy who's going to have a brief discussion for us. Am I correct? Excellent. So that would be item number 4.
I'm sorry, but you guys lost me. She's talking about a date on the end of this?
Well,
Future, Kathy.
Very last page, Kathy.
I know, but I thought we were working on the consent agenda.
Not yet. We have to approve the normal agenda first.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you talked about adding something. I already wrote that down. Let's talk about the current agenda.
That's what we were, and I asked the question if anybody had any changes, and no one said anything, and I said, I have a change.
Okay,
All right, and that goes underneath consent, or underneath the reports. And special reports agenda, item number 4. And we have visitors that will discuss a brief overview of the recycling grant program. And Emma's going to give us a very brief description of what her job is. Am I correct? All right. Any other changes? Hearing none, I make the motion that the agenda be accepted with changes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Sharon. It is moved and seconded that the agenda is accepted with changes. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next item is citizen comment.
okay, we have a few cards.
Okay.
I don't know what order they came in,
Doesn't matter.
but we'll do Mr. Rubing first.
Yeah, we have to try to keep him at 4 minutes.
You gotta watch me. Couple things. You already talked about the master plan. I have it here, but it will be coming before the county commissioners in the next 60 days for approval. So if there's any comments. I just passed out, this is from Leslie Myers, our drain commissioner, and it's about how new flood maps are coming to Antrim County. And you can kind of see the little thing that I highlighted in the middle, that flooding is the most common natural disaster. But with the National Flood Insurance Program, the paragraph right after the one that I highlighted, it says, what happens next? Special flood areas have been identified for all townships and villages within Antrim County. After formal receipt of the draft maps this summer, municipalities will have 90 days to appeal the maps should they feel the need to do so. Once formally adopted by FEMA in late 2024 or early 2025, each municipality will have 1 year in which to join the NFIP program. So I've just been highlighting this to my different township boards because this is where the rubber meets the road, if you will. This is where if some of your citizens have a problem, you are the lowest governmental body, if you will, whether it's a township or a village. And if there's a problem, it falls within your purview to appeal that problem. So I just think it's important that we know that we can address if there's errors in this. The other interesting thing with the hydrology study ongoing, they did a 1% flood, also known as a 100-year flood event study for our 2 dams, the Blair Dam and the Elk Rapids Hydro Dam. And the Elk Rapids one would still have 5 feet of freeboard, but the Blair Dam would overflow in a 100-year flood event. So, as we all know, if water starts moving over an embankment or a dam, there's a lot of power there, and it can make a huge impact. So Leslie has written a grant, and she's looking for ways to possibly address that. The only other thing that I was going to mention is the Antrim Creek Natural Area just up the road here, Rex Beach Road, the end of it there. They have an old schoolhouse, and we finally have an architect who's going to do some drawings about what would it entail to fix it up. So we've been kind of trying to get somebody to bite on that for about a year, and we finally have someone. So we'll be seeing some drawings sometime in the next 3 to 4 months, probably.
So when are the flood maps going to be available?
Talk to Leslie again, but late fall. That's
Late
what I was
fall?
told, late fall, roughly.
And are they going to discuss what the impact is on homeowners' insurance if they happen to sit in a floodplain?
Well, that's just it, because if they change and you weren't in the floodplain before, but now you are, that's a huge difference,
Yeah, you've got to go back to your insurance company.
right? And we aren't sure of all the details on that yet, but that's why if there's an inaccuracy and it affects people in that way, we want to be able to help them.
Leslie was just here at that meeting we had here last week. And she invited herself to come and explain a lot of that to us if we wanted her to.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I would recommend it. She's a wealth of information on that topic.
We should get her to come and discuss that.
She might need a couple more months before she sees the first draft to really be able to answer your question, but you can ask her and she'll tell you.
Well, does she even have an idea of what it's going to look like?
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well then we'll talk to her.
I introduced her to you. That's who.
All right. That and the other dozen people that you did. And I hardly remember your name, so. All
No,
right,
you always forget me.
next comment.
Would be from Miss Jemima Rubin.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Jemima Rubin, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm from Banks Township. And I would like to read you a poem about birds because I've been studying birds in school.
Excellent.
Birds. There are very many kinds of birds that tweet and fly and sing. Some come out in winter, and some come out in spring. The blue jay and the cardinal, the dove and swallow too. Our Creator made them all. There's nothing He can't do. The lark and warbler, gull and wren, the wood duck and the thrush, each and every bird on earth has its Creator's touch.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for that. You didn't write that poem, right? No. Okay,
No, and it was very pleasant as opposed to some comments we get.
yes. Thank you.
I'll do that all the time. You can come every board meeting and set the example.
Let's do Kathy Odom next, please.
Hello. I am here just to introduce myself. My name is Kathy Odom. I am running for county clerk. So I just wanted to take a moment, introduce myself, and let you know that I am out there.
And your background?
I worked for the Village of Bel Air for 26 years. I was the treasurer, deputy clerk, all in that time frame.
Yeah,
So I have that experience behind me.
excellent.
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
Perfect. And then Judy Parliament. Did I do it?
COA.
Good Lord.
I haven't seen Judy in a long time. Nice to see you.
I don't know if I've ever met you.
I don't
Judy
believe
is-
we have met before. My name is Judy Parliament,
It
and
will
I'm
tip
the
down.
director.
It'll tip a little
Tip down
more.
a little further
It
for
won't
you.
fall out.
No,
Okay, how's that?
better.
I'm the director of Antrim County Commission on Aging. I also will try to be pleasant, but not quite as nice as she is. So I'm just doing the rounds to all the townships to let you know what services are available through our agency. We have been delivering Meals on Wheels in our county for 50 years. So most people know about our nutrition programs. That's home delivered meals and the congregate meals that we have in Elk Rapids, Central Lake, Mansalona, and Bel Air. Last year, we put 85,562 meals out of our kitchen.
Wow.
So we've been very busy. Our numbers have increased even since COVID. You know, everything lightened up a little then, and we had a lot more people, and our numbers never went back down. So it was kind of a good thing that people found out that we were there and that we had some good nutritional programs available. We're funded through federal, state, and county funding. We do have a 4/10 of a mil that are allotted to senior services. And then we also have program income, voluntary donations. And we have between 25 and 40 programs going at any given day. So we range from Medicare counseling to chair exercise to crafts. We have a couple of lawyers. One is pro bono, the other is a reduced rate for estate planning. I think those are some of the lesser known. We also have medical transportation for outside of the county, and that is a suggested donation. On the in-home side of it, we have personal care, respite, and homemaker services. We typically have a short wait list for those. It was very long, but we were able to hire some people and get that down. One of our most used programs is our loan closet. So everybody who breaks their leg and needs a knee scooter or crutches or all of that good equipment, we have everything from bed chucks to pull-ups to Hoyer lifts and hospital beds. How am I doing on my time? Do I have just a
You're fine,
couple?
Judy.
You're fine.
I'm okay,
Sharon-
okay.
Sharon will get mad at me if I try to.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm one of her biggest supporters.
Okay, so all of those programs we do only because we have a huge volunteer base. Last year, we had 114 volunteers that helped us with our programs. We're always looking for new volunteers. We really need to add another route over on the Mansalona, Elmira side. We currently are sending out about 50 meals on that truck every day. So it takes a good 4 hours to deliver that route.
Wow.
So if you know anyone who's interested in doing something that's kind of fun,
You want to
send
mention
them our way.
you want to mention all the sites that you have?
I
Yeah,
did.
the meal sites, yes, Central Lake, Elk Rapids, Mansalona, and Bel Air.
You come to Torch Lake Township though also.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Those are sites where
Yes.
you can go into, Kathy.
Yeah,
Oh, you
for our
mean-
deliveries. Mhm.
You mean the opposite, okay.
Yeah.
Shipping.
And then we do have some really fun stuff like trips. We filled 2 buses that are heading to Cape Cod
Yeah, I
this
saw
fall, the
that.
very first day.
I
The
saw that.
buses were full. And one of our new and exciting programs we are piloting with MSU, and that will be starting June 3rd. We have some volunteers, I have one in the room actually, who are going to be going into the homes and training the seniors on how to use their smartphones, how to be safe on the internet, how to connect with their loved ones. And the second section of the training will be on telemed. So hopefully we can help people connect with their doctors and reduce on the number of times they have to get out and go visit their doctors. And we were just able to purchase the contiguous property right next to our building. It is my hope that we'll be able to add an adult day center there. And so we're working on that with the commissioners on how to best use that property. That is my hope and my dream.
How many people do you have helping you?
As far as employees or?
Employees and volunteers?
Yeah, the volunteers is 114 last year, and we have about 21 employees that cover all of those programs.
Wow.
The truck fund, you want to bring up the truck fund?
Yes, and we are unique in that we deliver hot meals 5 days a week. Very few other counties do that. We have 4 trucks, we call them hot shots, so they have the hot and the cold departments on them. They each cost about $74,000 by the time we get them all fitted. So we are due to purchase one this year and always have a running truck fund, so we appreciate those donations that come in for that. But that, all of our drivers are volunteers, and that is also unique in our region. So
Great.
we're pretty blessed.
Well, thank you.
And
Thank you.
newsletters can be either email or by mail.
I should have had you do this.
I was just going to say.
I support them 100%.
She's
They
a great
are-
supporter. Yes, and
Yes.
we do send out about 1,200 newsletters each month. And we're getting the hang of the email ones now.
Yeah.
We were a little lacking, but we're getting better at that. So you can get it either way. And I do have pamphlets, a couple of newsletters. And do you have a table where I might just
Put 'em
leave them in the
and
back?
then- Yeah, and then we
And
can
then
leave
some
them.
really great pens, so I'll leave some of those for you
All
too.
right, wonderful. Thank you.
May
Thank you.
May I ask, is it Mary? I'm sorry.
Judy.
No, Judy.
Judy. I'm new to, my brother is in Meadowbrook. I can say it. It's not a secret. Do you have any kind of programs where you cross over into Meadowbrook? Or I know they have a lot of their own,
Mhm.
but do you work with them in any way?
We don't very much,
Okay.
other than inviting them. Of course, they're always open to bring their residents to our programs.
Gotcha.
And
The other way
usually
around.
our annual picnic they participate in.
Good.
But other than that, I think it's probably difficult for their staff, but
Right.
we're always open
Picnics are
to
fun.
that.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
I work at Weston Hospital and I work in financial assistance and I consult patients that may need assistance. And one of the items that we're looking for to be able to offer to our patients is, we cross over between Medicare and Medicaid and trying to help them establish and qualify for Medicaid if needed. And looking for attorneys that might be willing to work with them. So just, I'd be curious to hear what information you have on that. So that we can
Yes.
pass that on to our patients.
Sure, I will give you a card, but also, I don't want to be knocking that over like on the voice. So we do have the attorneys that can help if they need elder law help, but we also have our MAP counselors, Medicaid and Medicare assistants. So if they're going back into the community, we can help them get signed up for that Medicaid. We do not take Medicaid payments. Those referrals would go to the Area Agency on Aging. But all of our services are based on a sliding scale for in-home services. Yeah, and then our meals are all a suggested donation of $3 a meal at this point. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Judy. Nice to see
Thanks,
you.
Judy. Emma, if you want to jump in, you can. That way you can leave.
Jim, get us started. I'm Melissa. I've got a class at 8 o'clock. So
That's
don't-
fine.
Not to bother anybody. So I'm Melissa Zelenak. I get to be the executive director for the Conservation District. I get to know some of you, luckily. I'm here to introduce you to Emma, but before that, I want to tell you a fast, quick couple things. So for those of you who've seen us at other meetings, I apologize for this again. So we got Emma this year. She'll be with us from May to November as part of Michigan's My Healthy Climate Corps group. It's like an AmeriCorps program, and she's focusing on things like recycling, energy, all of those cool things that we care about. So she'll tell you about that. On July 24th, it's our 80th anniversary at the district. We're having a big party. There'll be a band, music, Smokey the Bear, assorted VIPs, VOC, someone from Bergman's office, senator or somebody, so things to do there.
And you said 50th, 50?
80th,
80.
1944 we started, so we're the same age as Smokey the Bear. He'll be there, and we're also inviting anybody who's over 80, because we think that's cool. We're
Inappropriate
gonna have a
age.
special section for the smart ones.
Where is that held?
At the conservation office at 4820 Stover Road in Bel Air. It's right behind the county fairgrounds.
Okay.
And the county fair starts the same day, so we might go into cahoots on that, so stay tuned. The next thing you have seen in the newsletter, we are collecting boat wraps. This is our first year. All that blue, the white, your boat is wrapped with plastic wrap, shrink wrap, yeah, marine wrap. We're collecting that, so anybody who has that, please bring it to us, because we want to see it turned back into something rather than going in the dump, because there is a number of folks that are putting it in the dump, so we're trying to squash that. So see our website, look at the newsletter, call, smoke signal, whatever. We'll take those from you. The last thing is our county forester. You probably all remember or know Mike Merriweather. We did a big oak quilt thing out here last fall, whatever it was, build a house. So he's written a book that Jared's the scene. Judy probably knows about it, but here it is. It's for sale on our website. But here's your township library copy.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
And it tells all about the
Double
history of Antrim County forestry. There's been some really amazing, good decisions by past and current commissioners, so you'll see all that in there. It's a quick read, it's on Amazon, Mike will be a superstar at some point. So without further ado, Emma will give you her talk, and I'm gonna give you your slide back.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I apologize if I start to lose my voice in the middle of the discussion. My
Yeah.
seasonal
Yeah,
allergies have
Alan's
not
going,
been
yeah.
kind to me this year.
Well,
Oh,
just make sure it doesn't happen before your 4 minutes.
Right. Okay, so I just got to talk faster, I think. My name's Emma Fitzgerald. I grew up in Kalkaska County and then went to Grand Valley State University, majored in natural resource management, and then came back. I'm really excited to be the Michigan Healthy Climate Corps member for Antrim Conservation District. I'm serving as their Michigan Green Communities Coordinator. I think they just wanted to put as many words in my title as they possibly could. Yeah.
Are they paying you by letter or not?
I wish they would, but they don't. So I'm here today to talk about the Michigan Green Communities Program, which is a program hosted by the Municipality League of Michigan. It is a program created to get municipalities thinking about sustainability and connect them with other municipalities that are also thinking about sustainability. And so it's a program built to be able to be enacted from really small municipalities like Torch Lake Township to very large ones like Ann Arbor and Detroit. Super simple. There's a bunch of action items. I provided them in that little informational packet that you have. Bunch of action items of different topics. So I would recommend looking at the back of the packet. There's a large focus on land management and water management. So thinking about stormwater management, we were talking about flooding earlier. So getting that on your brain, figuring out where your baseline's at, being like, woohoo, we're doing some things. You're probably already doing things. And then connecting you with other similar sized municipalities to help you move forward. It can kind of connect you to some resources, give you some better ideas, kind of get you on a path of figuring out what works for you. So that's my little spiel. My card is also in there, so if you are interested, you need help, like not all of the terminology in that packet is super digestible. Have any questions on that, I'd be happy to help, happy to talk further about it.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just want to add one last thing. Why this program is important beyond the goodness that it does is your master plan, those are all getting updated. Having your care and concern in the master plan helps us when we write grants because it gives us extra points to say that you're a green community or you're practicing recycling or you're doing solar or whatever it is. So noting the things that Emma's working on helps us when we write a grant package. It gives us a couple extra points. So
Great,
lots of good.
What she said.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, bud.
All righty, good luck on your next one.
Yes. Oh, and I sent you the current flood maps to your mailbox. 1997 is the latest one.
All right,
Just that. Okay.
great, thank you.
Thanks, Melissa
ladies.
and Emma.
All right,
I lost track.
well,
Where
that
are
was, any other citizen comment or? we
No,
done?
no more cards.
All right, so we'll move on to
Yep, no.
consent agenda. Anyone wish to pull any reports? I don't have any. If not, then we will assume all of the reports are accepted by consent. Next item, special reports.
Oh,
Jason?
Bob, I'm sorry. Can we back up?
Yep.
The addendum that I put out on the table and that I added to board members didn't print out well, and I just wanted to point out that the first 5 checks that are listed were void checks, and then they were rewritten today. So that's why some of them reappear 2 times. So I just wanted to point that out, sorry, on the clerk report.
Right.
All right.
All right. Jason, Planning Commission.
Yeah, didn't really have a whole lot at our last meeting. We talked about the next steps that we're gonna take for our zoning ordinance and the next steps we're gonna take for our master plan.
You got a special, no, you have your regular meeting coming up as well.
On Wednesday, but I heard next month is the
Next month is the,
summer rental
Public.
and the,
is it the public or are you just doing the final rewrite? The final sections of approval? Or is
oh,
that
we're gonna
this
talk
week?
about we're gonna go over that at the meeting.
Okay. FOIA.
No new FOIA.
Actually, I want to drink water. You don't have anything else?
That's all right. Drink some water.
I need a drink of water. I have
right.
nothing else. no.
Financial overview. It's the first month of the new fiscal year. As always, any questions regarding the financials can be directed either to myself or to the clerk's office. There's not a lot to talk about. Our expenses were slightly higher versus last year. That's primarily due that we put a deposit down on our second ambulance. The expenses were slightly lower than the budget. Revenues were a little higher for both the budget and the prior year. That really completes the report. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. We have next section, board action. We have no old business. We have 4 items to consider under new business. The first one is a motion to adopt Resolution 2024-11. This adoption is by the local government, is something that the county wants us to do, is one of the conditions for applying for and/or receiving FEMA mitigation grants from various governmental programs. Having an approved mitigation plan, however, does not mean that we'll get grant funding when it's awarded. We'll have to go through all the normal paperwork hurdles in order to receive that. Board, is there any discussion on this resolution?
I have no discussion, but if there is none, then I'd make the motion.
All right, the motion's been made to adopt Resolution 2024-11 related to the hazard mitigation plan for Antrim County. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Jason. It's been moved and seconded to approve the adoption of Resolution 2024-11 related to the hazard mitigation plan for Antrim County. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Kathy, we need a roll call vote, please.
I can do that. Mr. Cook,
Yes.
Ms. Schultz,
Yes.
myself, yes. Mr. Martell, absent. And Mr. Merchant.
Yes.
Therefore, that resolution is approved 4-0.
All right, thank you, board. Item number 2 is a motion related to an adoption of the fee schedule changes.
Can we stop real quick? I got Matt's card, so I will take care of this after I have you sign it, so we won't have any questions on that.
All right. The fee schedule, you have a copy of it. There were some changes. One is it's in a revised effective date now of June 1st. We did not have the item for access and road ends ordinance, which was a municipal infraction of $100. And then under the ordinance for William K. Day Good Park, ordinance 2024-01, we had to put the ordinance number in there. Those were the only changes.
What is that? You get a ticket if you use a road end?
You could. If you parked illegally on it, it would be a municipal infraction, or based on what was passed back in 2000 and I'm guessing 7, if I remember my number right, If you were to put a campfire on it, that would be a municipal infraction. It has very similar restrictions as the nature preserve does. In fact, the ordinance encompasses the nature preserve and part of the day park is included. So the fires, you can't, fireworks, you can't build a campfire there. So with that, I'll make the motion to adopt the fee schedule as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Jason. It is moved and seconded to approve the fee schedule as presented. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Kathy, will you conduct a roll call vote, please?
I will. Mr. Merchant,
Yes.
Ms. Schultz,
Yes.
Mr. Cook,
Yes?
and myself, yes. Therefore, that motion is approved 4-0.
Thank you, board. Let me know when you're ready, Kath.
Number 3?
Yep, Sharon, do you want to lead number 3 for us?
I will be happy to do that. And we do have a few of our EMTs and paramedics in the house tonight.
Lisa.
Torch Lake Township's board meeting, May 21st, 2024. This is the 50th anniversary of EMS Week. Torch Lake Town, I'd like to make a resolution here or comments that we're going to, and pass on to all of our prospective EMS personnel. Torch Lake Township Board of Trustees wishes to recognize the 50th anniversary of National EMS Week of May 19th to the 25th, 2024. This year's theme is honoring our past, forging our future. This board and the entire community of Torch Lake Township acknowledges the emergency medical services as a vital public service. I'm going to start getting emotional here. Our first class ambulance EMS team are ready to provide life-saving care to those who need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to our citizens. Our sincere appreciation as we recognize the accomplishments of Torch Lake Township EMS, ambulance, and best wishes for their constant safety and good health for the upcoming year. We encourage all the citizens to observe this week as EMS Week, and we thank you. I attached this letter to every one of their lockers back there too.
Excellent. We are very grateful for the service you folks provide to us. All right. Item number 4. Motion related to pavilion fee schedule change. The Day Park Committee came in. You have a copy of that. It's highlighted. The changes, the half-day rate is now $150. I think it was $100 before that. And a full day is $300. And they have added a cleaning deposit so that if we have to send people in to clean it up, we will utilize that deposit. Otherwise, we will return it. The last one is on the last page. When rental fee and cleaning deposits are received, your reservation is confirmed. Confirmation will be sent via email. That was added to the page. Any questions on those?
So
changes?
are we getting new ones printed out then for the
Yes.
public when they come in then? And
Yep. Yep,
okay,
and it will be put out on the website.
So these are the correct rates that they're requesting?
Yes, they are the changes.
And they had a lot of discussion about that, the rates, the committee?
Yeah.
Okay, well, because I'm thinking that 300 is kind of
But it's
Steep.
for non-residents.
correct. What did we charge before?
I think it was 200. So,
Okay,
But that was
All
the recommendation by the committee.
okay, well, I wrote a note to myself that I would defer to the board's decision. So
Well, as I always say, you can always vote no. on
I
something.
can. And I do sometimes, hardly ever.
All right, so I will make the motion to approve the changes to the pavilion fee schedule as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing nothing, Kathy, would you conduct a roll call vote, please?
I will. Sharon,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
and myself, I will approve. That motion therefore passes 4-0.
Move on to agenda for the board discussion. Item number 1, let me bring you up to date. I met with the citizens from that area a couple weeks ago. Those individuals, they're adjacent to Third Street, have submitted a request, which you have a copy of in your package, in which they would like us to review the request of working some odds and ends there. They will need to request any of the supplies that they have identified that they would like the township to reimburse them for. They will have to come through the township so that we can acquire them and make sure we don't pay any sales tax on them. I believe that hopefully you've read through all of this. I have talked to our surveyor, and that's point number 2, but he has agreed to come and do a survey. We have done a review of some of the historical notes on this piece of property, and the items that they are requesting to do is well within the guidelines. The township has jurisdiction over it, and as long as they don't build anything or cut anything down, and it's a cleanup. They're going to repair the steps, the bottom part of the steps, and move some of the rocks so that it's easier to get into the water and you're not trying to step over these boulders that are pretty slippery. So I have no problem with them doing this. I told them before they started, I want to bring them to the board to see if there was any opposition to it.
I have comments. I don't have any opposition to it. I'm wholeheartedly supporting this request. But I do have one question about Mr. Fitzsimmons doing the mowing. Would that be something we would take over ourselves instead of having a citizen have to mow?
We could, we don't have a DPW to do that, so we'd have to send Alan down there.
Alan.
But if the individual is willing to do it, I
Right.
think it's nice to have them take part in that.
All right, if he's injured, then
I've checked on the liability issue. We have no liability issues because my
Okay.
concern was with the repair of the steps, and basically Todd said we would not have liability on that.
okay, that's fine then.
I knew that would be somebody's question.
Mine was muscle power, getting those rocks and everything moved. How is that going to handle?
Well, they're not huge rocks, and they've got a lot of people a lot younger than me, so I don't think it's going to be a problem.
It would be
for
a
them.
problem for me.
I think, it's a crowbar to lift them out and then roll them over to the side. I don't think they're taking them anywhere. It's just when you come down there,
Right.
the bottom step is slippery, and then the first set of rocks are basically underwater and they're slippery. So they're just trying to make it easier for people.
Well, this has been an ongoing for as long as I've been on the board, so let's
Yes,
get it
it
taken
has.
care of.
Sorry. My other question, if
Go
I
ahead.
may, before we get to Mr. Merchant. It mentions that there used to be a split rail fence and that part of it is still, but the other part was removed. So if we replace that and we find it removed again, is that something we could do a civil infraction or whatever the right term
It
would
would be
be?
a destruction of township property.
Property. So if we knew who, we could
If we knew
pursue
who,
that.
but we're not putting a camera down there. So I think it was removed a number of years ago when somebody was building a house.
Mhm.
So
I think it was there, not a couple of years ago, but it had been up and gone. I think what happened is it started to fall apart. Like,
Did it?
the
Split rail.
rails started to fall out,
Yeah.
so the posts were there, and then I think somebody decided just to.
Mhm.
I thought it was it put in because you have the history on it, I don't.
Yes, it was put in, oh my gosh, probably, well, we're looking at the notes, 2000,
Two?
before 2000.
Yeah, something like
When the big pine
2002.
tree went in.
Well, it was a little pine tree at the time.
It was pretty good size.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was probably.
They had a huge
6 or
spade-
7 foot, yeah.
Spade truck that put that in.
Wow. So,
Township truck.
no objections? Everybody all right?
I'm all
with
for it.
that? Good. All right,
Hopefully
so
it goes smoothly.
Debbie, you're all set. All right. The next one is, I mentioned to you folks at the last meeting that I had a priority of 4 sites to have the surveys done. Kruger, Creswell, Erickson, and Third Street. As I mentioned, I already went back to Dean to look at that, and he has said that we could do it for under $2,500. I kind of think that's, we voted on 18,000, and a lot of that, according to Dean, is just trying to find those other sites along the Bay Shore. So at this point, Kruger is important, as we mentioned, for Paddle Antrim. So we'll do the survey there. They had a little difficulty last year or the year before where one of their signs suddenly disappeared. So that's why I want to do a survey and make sure that everything works appropriately down there.
Yeah.
It's Kruger, Creswell, Erickson, and Third Street. Erickson might be a minor issue only because that's shared with Milton, and the homeowner down there may have encroached on the road. So Bert Thompson of the Road Commission is going to send one of his guys down there to take a look at it, and if there's a problem, then he and I will have a discussion on what the action will be. To clear it, if it has to be cleared, it's going to take a front-end loader to get most of that dirt off, I think, but we'll have to wait and see where, that's why I want a survey. I want to know exactly where that property line is.
So we are going to survey these 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And that will fall under the original $18,000 that was approved. The final one is the day park sprinkler system. I spoke with Josh. His first availability is the second weekend of June at this point. I can't imagine trying to put that in during a weekend. I think we can do it during a weekday. We have a backup plan that I'm working on, and I've identified an electrician that is willing to go out of his way to help us out. So if there's no objection, I think, Sharon, we approved $10,500 for sprinkler and $4,500 for electrical work. Do I have to do a new motion and bring it to change the contract, the individual, or can we just use the dollar amount?
We can use a dollar amount. We talked about that, the audit today. So we're just changing names then.
Right,
Right.
okay, so that's,
So we should indicate that.
okay. So I'm not going to present a motion. I think we'll just change the name and we'll go with it.
As long as the name's in the recording of
Yep.
minutes here.
So they're going to come on the this Thursday to do a review of it. My electrician, we're going to try to get it laid out. The electrician is going to give me a time possibly for Friday to come through, because the idea is if they can sync up together, I think he will only have to trench across the parking lot, because you're not going to have to go across the parking lot. He's going to have to go across the parking lot to do it, so we're going to have to get Miss Dig to go out there and mark that. So all that's to come, but we're going to try to get this thing done the week of Memorial Day, so like June 2nd, June 3rd, something like that.
And the new company's name?
I don't have the invoice yet from it, or the the quote.
Well, they have to look at it first, decide whether they're going to
It
do it or
was,
not.
That the minutes needed
Right.
to reflect that, I'm asking,
Yeah,
so that,
just say that it's, the contractor's name will be presented later.
thank you.
Yep. So that takes care of the board discussion. I've got nothing on informational purposes. Citizen comment. Any further comments from folks? If not, then board comment. Didn't you get in a,
You're going to start with Jason?
Jason? I know, you're rolling tonight. Sharon, didn't you get an award or something recently? I thought I saw something in the paper. Oh, you're not going to tell me what it is, are you? She did, and I forgot to write it down, and I've forgotten.
No.
All right, well, I'm going to dig it out. I'm going to find it and bring it. Look, you're already turning red, so I know I got it right.
Is it something about the Petoskey Stone Festival?
No,
Because that
she-
was last year.
Yeah, no, this was something else, but I know,
Okay.
it was in some newsletter or something. I'll have to go find it. So,
So
all right, so
Is it up to me now?
it's up to you now.
Okay. Yes, Petoskey Stone Festival this weekend, Saturday, 10 to 4. We wish everybody could come out there, and announcement that this is the last year that's going to be held on that Memorial Day weekend. It will be moved to the Saturday prior to the holiday, starting in 2025. So we'll get that notice out to everybody, because it's the 18th annual Petoskey Stone Festival.
Why
Or
are they
19th.
moving it?
Well, we're moving the date because the park doesn't want us there on that weekend anymore because of parking issues. Yeah.
Hey, we
We have a
didn't
new parks director out there.
we didn't do anything with the parking.
Yeah.
It was the camping we had to deal with.
Yeah. I just want to say also, board, that we wrapped up our annual audit with our auditor's firm yesterday and today. Everything went well. They had a big team yesterday and today, and they worked very hard and get it done. They're going to send us the final reports here by next week.
Yeah,
So,
they didn't find any issues that I know of.
They'll make a
Grant
few
talked to me.
they'll make a few comments, but yeah, it
Yeah.
was,
Well, my comment to them was that they were rather quick this year. And I said, does that mean we're getting better? And that I didn't make any mistakes.
No, we just caught your mistakes.
that's because they came into my office all day.
All right, Kath, any comments?
No, sir.
All right, I have none. I'll make the motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second it at
All in favor, say aye.
8:05.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. This beats the audience for the annual meeting.